Are we recording?
Yeah.
Are we recording?
Action!
Hi, my name is... Can I just say X?
Supporting our young people to choose a career in the marine industry and giving them opportunities to develop as many skills as possible has been high on our agenda for many years. But what's it actually like for them? I meet with our latest recruits and they talk to me about their experiences working here at the Multihull Centre boatyard.
Hi, my name is Will. I've got a background and a degree in history, but I'm a yard hand and transferring my skills through with the company. And yeah, it's a very enjoyable experience. Hi, I'm Pete. I'm studying marine engineering with composites at Plymouth Uni, and I came here to build some practical skills to help reinforce theoretical knowledge learned in my degree.
Hi, I'm Luca. I'm a designer here at DASCAT, and previously I went to Southampton Solent University and studied yacht design. Which one is it? Yacht and powercraft design. And yeah, just started here about a year and a half ago.
Well, I did a year at Falmouth Marine School doing boat building, and I'm an apprentice here.
Okay. How long have you been here, Will?
A few months now.
Okay.
Hi there, my name's Ferdinand. My background's in boatbuilding carpentry. I did my apprenticeship at a well-known motorboat manufacturer here in Plymouth, and I've decided to differentiate my skills and learn a bit of composites down here at the Multihull Centre.
Okay. No. Okay, no worries.
We very much work in different sectors of the Multihull Centre, so we've got from yard hands to new apprentices that work in either the build sheds or around the yard running servicing and boat management, and then myself, I work more in the design office, and yeah, but we all come together to make the products we do here.
It's obviously it differs for everyone around the table really. Quite a lot of us get up at around 7:30 and they'll trundle into the shed and get onto the production line. I know that you yourself, you kind of come in, go to the design office, don't you, and do your thing. Whereas for us at the yard, it's more of a roll out of bed about 6, get in for 7:30 and working outside, kind of moving the boats around, keeping good customer relations and making sure that everything runs smoothly surrounding the business, and helping out kind of multi-marine manufacturing and kind of DASCATs through the use of the Multihull Centre.
And so, Will, you've come from a really different background. Do you feel that you're gaining benefits and skills from your time here that will help you in the future?
There's a lot of transferable skills, certainly. I think definitely it's one of these places that you'll come in and you will be told that you know nothing, and that is completely fine as long as you stay humble about it. But it's definitely one of those places that everyone is always offering to help you out. They're always offering advice, and they're always willing to show you how to do things. And it's perfect if you want to kind of get into it from an outside perspective, something that doesn't relate to kind of your education. So, looks. Never be afraid to throw your own feedback into the circle. Like, they might tell you it's wrong, but normally it's done in a nice way, and you get an explanation as to why it won't be done in that way. But occasionally, sort of a younger, fresher set of eyes and a different way of thinking brings something new to the table. And if it seems like it might work, they'll always take it on board and thank you for it. So don't be afraid to sling new ideas or theories into the mixing pot. There's a hierarchy of expertise, I think, at a lot of normal companies, in the sense that, you've got the guy who's actually building the boat, and above him is his sub-manager, and more sub-managers all the way up to senior management. And the person who's actually on the tools doesn't get to make very many decisions. Whereas here, we employ some of the best boat builders in the country, and there's a lot of times they're sort of left to get on with things largely by themselves because they have this large wealth of experience. And I think from an apprenticeship / skill building route, that's really good, because the person you're working next to is not just doing what they're told. They're thinking independently, and that means that you can learn so much more from them than I think you can at other companies. And yeah, a discussion about a new component being fitted includes everyone in the company almost sometimes. And I think that's really good because everyone's voice is heard.
Comparing my role here at DASCAT to my previous role at a different yacht building manufacturer, There, it's very much a production line facility. So you just on one section, and you can get quite bored staying in one section. Whereas here at Dascats, you kind of work every day is a bit different. You know, you could be prepping molds to laying glass. So, and the progression through the build process, you follow the boat from the start to the finish. So you learn a lot more skills and have a much general understanding of how a boat's constructed than just one particular section, and that's all you know, which is a massive advantage for career in boat building, I think. Because you just have a lot more knowledge and a lot more experience with different applications. You know, sometimes, you know, and you learn by doing different things and different variations of manufacture. If you just know one way, say something's just square and you don't know how to get, you know, it's because you come across certain hurdles that you have to get over. And through the experience of getting over those hurdles, you learn new aspects on how to get around them and what to do and what not to do. Mm. But if you only know one area, and you know you can be very good in that area, but if you get, say, they need you somewhere else, you know, in building a canopy or deck, you might know how to build a canopy, but when it comes to doing a deck, you might not know what to do. You know, so having that variety of skills is a big asset.
And I think that's a major benefit of this place being such a small company, is that everyone here works on everything throughout the progress of the builds. That, especially with me coming into the design side of things, because we've got quite a small design office. There's not 10 of us working in the design office. It's a couple of us working on the entire project. So we get a really good depth of knowledge in every aspect of the boat. And I think that's just an amazing tool to have, rather than being thrown into a different company where you'll be a group of 10 to 15 to 20 designers where you only specialise in one area. And you'll move around every couple of years potentially to find out where your section is. But getting that general understanding of how everything works, I think builds the most of my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
There's a risk with generalising it as multitasking that people will see you as being a jack of all trades, which I don't think is the case here. Everyone is capable of doing everything. It's a very multifaceted business in terms of everything we do. You might learn a specific skill off a specific person when you first come here, or if you're doing a job and you know who the specialist in that area in the company is. So, you know, there's one guy who does all the masts and rigging, and he's really good at masts and rigging. And if you've been asked to do something on a mast or to do with a piece of rigging, which you may well be, you know that person is there, and you can go and ask them for advice. Or laminating, you know, there's people who are really experienced and talented laminators who everyone goes to for help. The same with gel coat repairs. So there are specialists within the company which allow you to learn all of these skills at a higher level than just sort of a generic base of information, I think, which is the key thing.
Yeah. And have you found the older, more experienced guys willing and patient and helpful from that perspective?
Once you soften them up.
I'd say the experienced guys that have been here for many years have a wealth of knowledge that one coming into the company can take advantage of and really make their own, and, you know, absorb all the knowledge you can like a sponge. They're very willing to answer questions as, you know, as best as you listen, which is always important. And yeah, you know, they know there's people coming in the company that aren't as experienced as themselves, but they're willing to pass their knowledge on, which is always a great thing.
Really good so far. It's good fun, learnt absolutely loads, and met good people here. So.
What made you think that you would like to come here in the first place?
Because it was such a small yard, I knew that there'd just be less people, so you get to know people better, learn better, do more bigger range of stuff.
We've also had the opportunity to sail one of the Dascats, which is, you know, something that you don't really get to do at many companies. My career before coming to Plymouth was in Bristol, and I didn't sail in Bristol at all.
Okay.
And only started sailing in the last 3 years when relocating to Plymouth. And yeah, it's just, you know, to learn from some experienced sailors that they have at Dascats as well, which is you know, great, because when you're not as knowledgeable about sailing, it gives you a better understanding on the construction of the yachts and why they have to meet certain loads, which is, you know, great for knowledge and understanding of why builds need to be strong.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's also a massive benefit to the
Definitely.
employees.
But I know that for a couple of you, the sailing was part of the pull coming here.
Yeah,
So,
very much so. Yeah, coming from a cat sailing background, it's one of the best places to be in the UK. It's probably it is the largest or the best catamaran design and manufacturing based in the UK, and that the drag in from the performance side of things, that Dad's cats work very well at the sailing boats, and being able to come in and go sailing with Biff, with Daz, with Matt, and like with everyone here at the yard, has really improved sailing skills, as well as yeah, it's just an enjoyable way to spend.
did you expect to be spending as much time sailing as you have done?
Well, we've done a lot of sailing in the summer actually, but yeah, no, I didn't expect that much. But it's been brilliant. Like, yeah, it's been great being able to do the campaign we've done this season. Hopefully, carry that on in the next few years.
And next to you is your teammate in the D1 exploits, which will be having the D1 story very soon, coming out on video as well. But
I expected to. It's weird. I expected to be doing more work and more sailing on my own boat in my free time, and I ended up catching the multi-hull bug a little bit. But before I got involved with D1, the boat we had in the shed here, when I first started working, when that launched and I got invited to go out on sea trials, that was amazing. I can't really describe the feeling, but it makes you very proud to stand on a boat that's hurtling along at, you know, high teens, low 20s boat speed, and it's great to be able to point at something on a boat you're sailing and say, I fitted that, you know, this boat is working because I was involved in building it. To be part of the machine that made it is very cool.
I remember you saying that when you were sailing it. Yeah. You didn't have any sailing background at all.
No.
So that was not part of your draw to come here.
To be bluntly honest, I got involved with a 60-foot recycled catamaran built by the Rothschild Foundation, called Plastiki, and that's how I got involved in the yard originally. And that was, and to also again be blunt, that was just because I needed money. I was broke at the time, and I came into Multihull Centre and started working with a well-known boat builder called Andy Fox. He was very good with his composites, and we refitted a 60-foot catamaran out of recycled PET plastic. And then I finished that, and that's how I ended up here. Really, is there was a job for the yard hand going, and I'm not going to lie, I fell in love with the yard, and I fell in love with the fact that even if you don't sail it, as soon as you put your boat out onto the water, it kind of looks so much better, and you leave kind of a bit of yourself with every single thing that you touch, and that's kind of what made it beautiful for me and drew me into that. But yeah, the yard hand position was available, so I took it.
Excellent. And you do it with pride.
A little bit, yeah.
Good. And we've yet to get you out sailing and catch the sailing bug. I think
I would not mind doing a bit of sailing, but yeah, until then, I'm still proud to work it. So it's not too bad.
Good. Okay. And sailing was your draw, I think, partly.
I'd sailed dinghies before coming here for about 7 years, and just found sailing bigger boats quite interesting.
He joined at the end of the season, so he has another chance to come.
Okay, I thought you've done at least one out on D1. Yeah.
The last hurrah.
Yeah.
Which was a great time from what I've heard.
He managed to keep his hair safe from.
Some of the crew members more than others.
Yes. Okay. And Dave, you've been here for a week doing a work placement, haven't you? Yes. What's your sailing background?
Well, my dad owns one of the boats that's been made here.
Okay. And so did that get you interested in?
Like coming here, or?
Yeah, and in what goes into building a boat, maybe.
Well, I mean, it is interesting. I've been definitely enjoying my week, but I'd say my dad just did put me on this. You know, thought it was the best place for me to do work experience.
Say it as it is, okay.
Your dad has good taste.
Yeah, he definitely does.
But it was an all right. It turns out it was an okay decision.
Well, I wasn't you know, unhappy about the decision. You know, I was looking forward to it, and it's been a good week.
Excellent.
Actually, last experience I did was at I think Conwy Marina. It was pretty good, but there wasn't really much to do because, well, there was more staff than jobs. But here, there's actually a lot of stuff to do, and I actually got to get involved with a lot of things.
Okay, that's good to hear. And so, do you think that some aspect of boat building, design, sailing, do you think that will become a part of your future career?
Well, I mean, I'm obviously doing engineering at college, so sort of looking at some kind of engineering background, either, you know, marine engineering, well, probably marine engineering since Dad owns a boat, and we're probably looking to sail, you know, at least to the Mediterranean. So it'd be useful to have someone who can fix stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And that also enables me to get a job abroad somehow.
Yep. You're absolutely spot on. And your dad will always have to take you sailing so you can fix stuff for him. So, okay. And have you found people here to be friendly and helpful?
Yeah, I found everyone here to be pretty friendly.
Good. Okay. What would any of you say to any other young people thinking about going into boat building, maybe? Yeah.
Get out.
Get out now. Do you think you're ever going to become very rich from choosing this career?
Yes.
Ah.
As Bob Marley says, it depends how you define riches. You know, so if you want to have rich in life with a sailing experience and having a few laughs on the line, or you want to have loads of money in your bank, not that there won't be loads of money in your bank not doing boat building, but yeah, it depends how you want your lifestyle to be. You know,
Yeah.
There's a different type of richness.
100%. Yeah.
Pick your company wisely would be what I would say to anyone looking at doing a placement year or an apprenticeship or just starting work.
Working in the yard as well, invest in some good waterproofs. More safest way forward. Go and do it.
Good advice, Will. Good advice.
What Pete said there on pick your company right for what you feel or what you feel your characteristics are. There's a lot of companies where people can go into and it'll be hell for a year or a couple of years, and it won't be worth it if you come out of it not feeling like you've earned something or built something out of it.
So do your research.
Do your research. Have work experience weeks where you go around and test out different companies really, and see where you fit in best.
Okay. And Pete, you said you found yourself doing things here that you wouldn't normally necessarily have expected to do.
Well, so from the background that I was coming in from with regards to using it as an industrial placement as part of my degree, certainly the go-to, I think normally for engineering students would be to be sort of more office-based, doing design work, boring maths, all of that. But I think actually now I've gone into the third year of study, having been here and worked slightly more practically, really sets me up very nicely, because when you learn a theory concept, it makes sense because you've done it in real life. And there's things that the guys here know and they don't know why they know it necessarily. They just know that you can't do that or you can't mix that and that. And I think I'm really annoying my lecturers because they'll tell us something. I go, oh yeah, no, I know about that. Yeah. Or it's something suddenly clicks and it makes sense because you're learning why these things aren't done and can't be done, which is really good. So yeah.
Excellent. Good to hear.
I mean, there are difficulties working in a boatyard that is in quite a remote area. I mean, it is quite difficult to get to. It is a small community, but that small community also brings other benefits.
Such as?
Yeah, right.
So as a bunch of young guys, how old are you? Just let's go around quickly. How old are you?
Well, I'm 23.
23?
22.
23.
17.
23.
19.
Okay, so all as far as people like me are concerned, very, very young. So does the idea of moving to a little tiny village in the middle of nowhere almost, is that a bit daunting?
Well, I can't really speak because I'm from this village. So what I can say though is that Millbrook in and of itself, and the proximity of the Multihull Centre and Cats to the village, it really helps out in terms of what you'll hear in a minute of community spirit and how well you can integrate yourself within people in the surrounding area.
Yeah, I mean, when I worked here, I lived in the village by myself for a year. It was a little bit lonely when I first moved here, but I would encourage anyone who was considering that as a negative to think about all the positives of working at a company like this. And it's a very small sacrifice to make for the experience that you get. And once you get to know the guys in the yard, it really is a family, the entire company. And after the first couple of months, I would have felt comfortable going to pretty much any of them with a problem or asking for a bit of help. You know, if you needed a lift to a train station or a bus stop or whatever, I'm sure they would give one. And separate from the village, there's really a family base at the yard, at the company, as well as then, like Will said, the proximity of the village and the pubs and the shops and everything as well.
Okay.
So initially, when I first started, I lived on site for a few months, and then I ended up moving to Plymouth, and then commuting from Plymouth, either driving or cycling in. And it is a commute. It's a 45-minute commute, but it is very easily done. And if we build more people, if more people come into the program from here, I'm sure there would be a way we could set up a travel system to get people in.
Sharing. But you've come up with quite a unique and good solution of your own.
I'm living on a boat on the yard, which is good and also a bit boring at times, just because in the evenings in winter it's dark early, there's not much to do. But in the summer, I reckon it'll be pretty good. Go out on my bike every now and then and go for walks.
Yep.
I have to say, because I live in Plymouth at the moment, and I really appreciate and enjoy the commute here to the Multihull Centre, because you get a bit of a break from the city and, grey areas everywhere in the city. The sky's grey, the roads are grey, the buildings are grey, and you get lovely scenery on the way to work, rolling countrysides and beautiful water along the way. So I see it as I use the commute as a de-stress, you know, so sometimes I even cycle here, because especially in the summer, it was just beautiful way to start the day.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, it's not much. There's all different where I am, because I already live in the middle of nowhere, just outside the village.
Okay.
It wouldn't be much change.
So it feels quite homely from that.
We live just outside the village. We live on the side of a big reservoir, and I guess it's the same as living here on the side,
Yeah.
sea, I guess. But
So you don't
not
need
too much change.
don't need a wild nightlife at your fingertips then.
Well, I don't have one.
No.
That's not to say that the village won't give you a wild nightlife. There is plenty
We have
of
had some wild nights in Millbrook.
Yeah.
There are plenty of pubs.
It's what you make,
Yeah, there's two in Millbrook. There's many over the hill, just a mile away in Coulsand and Kingsand. And again, it's not just limited to nights out. The beaches and the sea is right there at all times. You can go down to Coulsand and Kingsand, go for wild swimming, fishing, and it's less of the city life, kind of the hustle and bustle of, you can go out to a club. It's more of, you can chill out, you can have your nights, your quiet nights in, but you can have those very nights as well if you really want them, as long as you can deal with your mile walk home.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a community here with young people as well already. There's these guys, Luke, are in the office, and we all go to the pub together, as a friendship group, and anyone who joins the company as an apprentice or just as a worker who's around our age, another young member of the workforce who's learning, would 100% be welcome into that group. So anyone who's thinking about it, don't think about it as being isolated here. There's lots of people to go to the pub with, and a night out is what you make it and who you make it with. So
That's
yeah.
nice to hear. Good. Are we done?
I think so.
That's right. If you want to try Cornish pod famous pasty on the Friday, that's normally a tradition here at the Multihull Centre. So
That's Friday.
Yep.
that's a miscellaneous benefit.
Good one. Okay.
Needs to be said has been said, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Thank you very much. Good to talk to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Come and get a job at Bell's Carrot.
Yeah.